What happens when you install the Australian government's COVIDSafe app on an Android phone? Press install, wait for the download to finish, wait for the installation process to finish, then press open to open COVIDSafe. There's a pretty splash screen, then information about the purpose of the app, how the app works, and a long page about privacy. You have to tick I consent, then I agree. The app asks you for your full name, age, and postcode. It then asks you for your mobile number so it can send you an SMS with a PIN. Enter your mobile number without the leading 0 and press Get PIN. Wait for the SMS, then enter the PIN. The next section is about app permissions. It explains it needs location permissions for Bluetooth. Why is that? Let's look at how Android's permission system works for Bluetooth. We can see that Bluetooth does require location as well. This is built into the Android operating system, so it's not like the government can activate Bluetooth without location. But hang on, what's that about Android 8.0 or higher not needing location? Well, this is true, but if we look at Android mobile phone market share in Australia for April 2020, we see that while versions 8, 9 and 10 are the most used, versions lower than 8.0 account for 15.95 or almost 16% of the Australian market. This is just under 1 in 6 Android phones. Obviously, the Australian government wants to reach as many people as possible, especially older people who could still be using an outdated version of Android in their phones. So it's unfortunate that Bluetooth means access to location as well, but it can't be avoided without reducing the reach of the app. So, after pressing allow, the app asks to stop optimizing battery usage just for itself. This is so the operating system can't put it to sleep in the background, effectively turning it off. After allowing that as well, you see a success screen, then a screen to say you don't need to do anything else. Now, on the question of whether you can trust this app or not, consider the number of apps you've already installed and how many times blindly given permissions to. You don't even know who the authors are most of the time, just a name that means nothing to you. But what about the government accessing secret backdoors in the operating system to spy on you? Well, I've got news for you. Hackers are much smarter than the programmers who work for governments, and if a government backdoor existed, they would have found it and exploited it by now. We also allow Google to track our every movement without a single complaint. Google even prompts me to say, I don't know where you were for 5 minutes 2 days ago. Did you go down to the shops? And instead of telling Google to stop being so nosy and mind its own business, I happily supply the missing information. It's said that Facebook and Google and other technology giants are much better at spying on us because they make us want to help them do it. The COVIDSafe app does not ask for permission to access the internet, make phone calls, access your contact list, or anything else except for the location service needed for Bluetooth. If an update needs extra permissions, it will prompt you before installing it. And once it's installed, you always have the option of deleting the app from your phone.